your data set. Yeah, and we have Google integration also, which means you can connect your Google account, Google Analytics accounts, Google Ads account, and you can use BigQuery to run that queries. And in this Looker Studio, we have to just drag and drop. No need to write any code, no need to do any settings and all. You just have drag and drop, and it will give you everything. All the options will be there, and your imagination is a limit. Everything is available there. Everything is present in Looker. You just need to select the chart which you want and drag and drop in the data sets. Load the chart. After that, it will help. It will give you what is it? Mm, mm, what is it? Dashboards and report everything according to your needs. So this is why people use Google Data Studio. It was previously known as Google Data Studio. Now it is Looker Studio. When I was working initially in 2021 or 2022, that time there were no what is say tools in it. It was a very basic thing where we can create it just some pie chart or bar chart or line graphs, something like that. Now it has multiple options like we can use heat maps and we can check for exactly what location is working, what is not, why our campaigns are working or not. We can check everything now. It has developed very what is it exponentially. Yeah. In Looker, we use dimensions and matrix. Here is dimensions are like the data where you can see what, who, and when. Okay, it is a text data. Okay, text data or it is a what is string data. In matrix, it is known as blue chips. Okay, it have numerical data. With the help of numerical data, you can calculate the numbers like sum, average, and count. You can do some operations, you can do comparisons, and it is used in total sales. CTR means click through ratio, something like that. And with the help of that, you can see conversion rates. Everything will be seen in the matrix itself. You can, with the help of this metrics and dimensions, you can usually group your data set like which is text or which is in numbers. So this is very most important, and you have to remember this till when you are using Looker. Okay, we can usually group with the help of dimension, group the data with the help of dimensions, and we can measure with the help of metrics. That is the tip you have to remember. Yeah. eh, let's go to this interface. I will show you interface one, then we'll talk about that. So I'm sharing. This is my browser. Now we have to search for Looker Studio. Then we have to open this. Once you get inside this report in Looker Studio, then there are predefined templates like GA for reports, Acme marketing, Search Console report. You can find different data sets. Okay, if you want to see entire gallery, then you can see here. If you want to use this and data set, you can use this data set. Otherwise, you can use your own data set. Okay. Okay. We'll see. World population data is there. YouTube channel report is there. and see this work option data. You can just select this template. Something went wrong. Okay, there is some issue with this template now. It will take some time. Okay, it's not working. I think copying dashboard is been disabled. Okay, this dashboard is not working. We'll work on something else. We'll use Google. Okay, we'll see for this e-commerce PPC. This is a data set where you can see how e-commerce works. Hmm. So see, okay, this is how you will get to see a report. It's telling like report uses is a universal analytics after 2024. So the chart of any UA property will return no data. So it's telling that it has been the data which was present in the report has been gone. So we have to take a new data set to work on. This report has support has been ended, so we have to take some other report. Okay, we will see this GA4 report itself. See, this is how you will get a report. Edit and share. If you click this edit and share, we have to select our account. So it will open, so we can edit it accordingly according to our use. It's giving data configuration error. Default set. Okay, they have made some changes, so we can't use the dataset. We can only view this dataset but not work on it. Okay, we'll see how report works. Okay, this is a report. This is known as scorecard. Okay, in a summary, they have added scorecards, different scorecards. Okay, how much engagement type from every users, how much active the users are. You can compare using this line chart, and you can see there are different tabs. So you can see in at what on what device their website has been getting used. In desktop it's 72%, in mobile it's 26%. So this is how they will show the data, and this is tablet which is 0.8%, and in which countries their users are. This is report for Google Analytics. Okay, it is a one of the tools which is given by Google that will help users to understand their websites, and this analytics is for their own website. Okay, so this is the data for from Google itself. Yeah, you can change from what duration you want, reports from what duration you wanted, everything you can change here. You can see from 2016 March 15th. Okay, if you click apply, you will get data from 2016 to 2025. So if you see in this way, you will see there are around 5 lakh, around 10 lakhs total records. Okay, mobile has 4 lakh 54,000, laptop has 4 lakh 85,000, and there are around 18,000 in tablets. So this is about 10 lakh records. So we are calculating on what devices the GA4 is running more. So you can see desktop is still on the peak, and in which country the data the users are there. So here you can see not set means the country has been hidden, okay, due to some privacy issues. They will not tell you the data exactly. And in US, we have more users comparative to India. India, we have only 69,000 users, but in US, there are around 4,13,000 users. So this is how you can calculate on in which country the users are there, more users are there, something like that. And you can see our data set actually starts from 14 September, around 14 September. Okay, around 14 September, our data set has been started. So our data set will change the date 2024 September. Will take 10, the saver side. Apply. So you can see now clearly how the users has been getting increased, decreased, and from where the users are there. You can see in this line chart and on what platform they are using. You can see Android has been 3,60,000 users, and on what browser? Chrome is around 8 lakh users, and on what, how many active users are there? So you can see everything. In which browser? You can see Safari, Chrome, and all. Everything you can see visibly, easily here. And you can see traffic, from where the traffic is coming from. Traffic means it is generic traffic or from ads or any analytics or referral, something like that. See, you can see the traffic is coming from Google. Google means it's organic. It's coming from Google page only. This is from Bing. Bing is from what is say Microsoft. There are different here. Newsletter is there. Site from Google. 9 to 5 newsletters. The traffic is from different channels. So you can see from which channel you are getting actual traffic and what are your users doing. Just viewing the page, viewing the items, and viewing the promotions. Everything you can see here. Even if they scroll, you will see the users has scrolled in your website and where exactly your users are going. So see here landing pages are not set, so they are going directly to Google Analytics page, and here are the different landing pages from Canada, from different shopping or holidays. There are different GA4 landing pages. So you can see on what page the user actually went, on what page user have actually spent the time. So everything you can see in this dashboards, okay? And conversions. After spending so much of money in advertisement and marketing, you can see what user have actually did after seeing your ad. See, some people have waived the items only, then some people have added to cart. Uh, You can see around 10 lakhs people have added with the item. Okay, in 10 lakh, only 2 lakh people have added to the cart. Okay, and in 2 lakh, you can see only 21,000 people have actually bought. So this is how funnel works. Or this is how conversion works. Okay, you can see 81% people have waived the item. In that 17% have added to the cart, and in that only 1.6% people have actually bought. So your conversion rate will be around 1 to 3 in 100 people. So this is how you can see your marketing and your campaigning, how everything is going on. And with the help of this, you can easily track everything in e-commerce. Here you can see when the session has started. You can see here in scorecard, you can see total e-commerce purchase, how many are there? There are 21,000 purchases. In that, we have around 1.5, 1.75 conversion rate. Means uh, every 100 people, only 1.75 people are buying. Okay. Or in every 200 people, 3 people are buying. Something like that. So this is how conversion works. And revenue purchase is around 3.4 million. Means 34 lakhs. And average total order value is around $160. Okay. And revenue per user is revenues profit per user is 3.51 dollar. So this is how you can see everything, how everything is working in Google Analytics for reports. So this is how you can create a report. We'll go back to Looker. We'll open this. We'll open Gemini, okay? Because we'll ask Gemini to create a data set for our Looker Studio, okay? Help me create a data set that I will be using in Studio to make some yes. Okay, if you give this thing, they will I will get a data set, okay? If you want fast, then you can use fast, or if you want thinking for, then you can use this. Then just send it. You will get a data set, okay? With the help of the data set, you can actually work on it. So it will take some time, and you will get a data set. See, this is telling Google rule is like for Looker Studio data is regardless of a topic, your data set should be very clean. So it is telling must follow these rules, okay? The first row contain unique column name, okay? And date, projected revenue, one type per column. Don't mix text and numbers. And no merge cells, okay? Your Looker first row should be clean and there should be not merge cells. In Excel, we can merge cells, right? If we have some similar data, we directly merge cells. But here, we can't do that. And one single event should one transaction one day one ticket, okay? It means everything should be clear and vivid, and we have to use this date format. Everything is written here, so it has given the data set. We have to just use this thing, export to sheets. When you open the sheets, we will see this data set, okay? This is a data set. Oh, it has not given a data set, it has given just yes, just we have done yes. So it will create a data set with 50 different values. So it is polluting the data sets. So where is the CSV? So it's telling that we have it has given it, but it has not. So we'll ask, give me CSV file. So it will give. That's it. This is the CSV file if you have got. We just have to use it in our notepad something. Notepad. Control yes. Let's save on desktop. And you have to change the file to all files. Then only it will be saved as CSV. We'll save this in Excel so we can. Yeah, we have saved this file in Excel. Now we have to load this file. Okay, Looker Studio, create a file, report. We can take a data as we are using CSV file to upload. So we have to authorize first before using any services in Google. So we have to select our region, which is India. So here we have to use AppSheet. EU means Europe, because we are non-Europe, right? So we'll use normal AppSheet. We'll just go next. There is some issue with the server right now. I don't know why this is not working. It's not going ahead. Hmm. Okay, we'll do some add data. CSV file upload. Yes. Continue. We have to add file. Desktop. Excel. That's it. Continue. So we are adding file data to the dataset. So this is our schema, what is there in our actual file, and we will add directly. Add to report. See, we will get a freeform layout. We have to select freeform layout. Then it will give us dataset. So first we have to add this is our order ID and order count. We don't need this. We want something chart that look good. Okay. So we'll add score this table as we have just dragged here. In table we have to add what we gonna use, okay? So we'll use date, and we'll use date in our first column. Our second dimension will be region, okay? Or we'll use mm, region in first only. Mm, Region date will not work like this. In our second region, we'll use, and we can add how much revenue is being getting generated from that place. So we can add metric here. Okay, we can see from north there are total 10,000 orders, and sorry, 10,000. This is the revenue for 40 orders. We are getting this much of revenue. Okay, with the help of this, we can directly see what's happening, and we'll create one heat map, add a chart. If you want to add a pie chart, just drag it here. Using, we can use region and odd in place of this. You can see we have generated our data using AI, so this will be little biased, so it will give all equal values. So you can see there are 12 orders from south, 12 from east, 12 from north. Everything is 12, 12, 12. That is in north, okay? Because it's 50, right? They can't divide 15. So they have used one as 13 and every 12, 12, 12. So this is how the pie charts work. And if you want, you can change it. If you want to see different types of properties, and just click it. Show and link data is there. You can see special. We can make a report label, something like that. You can sort by region count. It will do accordingly. Okay. If you want to see the properties, then you can see here. So this is how you can add different charts. If you want different heat map, just click on add chart. This is table with a heat map. We just want it. No, we don't want tables. So we'll take the heat map or tree map. Okay, there is heat map and I can't see the option here now. Okay, we'll use this different one, tree map. Using this, you can see if I select only north, then each and every chart will change to the only north only. Each and every other south, east, west will go away. We'll have data for north only. No, you can see 13 orders in that 40 order quantity was there, and total revenue was 10,940. This is how you can create different chart. This is a very basic level chart, but if you want, you can create different according to your need and choice. If I want to change this layout, and there are multiple different layouts, you can just select according to your need. You can do it. If you want dark theme, you can use dark theme. If you want light, and if you want to add text inside, you can do that also. And here is one important thing, which is known as a scorecard. Okay, in scorecard, just select this small button, place anywhere, and you can see how many records. 13 records from north. If you want to see all, you can see how many orders are there. Total order count was 50. As we have created this from Gemini, which will give some, what do you say, bias data. Okay, so you're seeing all the records are average. Okay, like 24, 24, 26, 26, something like that. So this is how you can work with Looker Studio. Yeah, we have Anirudh sir who will take. Uh, take the class. Like he will give an explanation on how data analytics works, as he has more than 30 years of experience in it. So I will call Anirudh sir, so he will explain what data analytics is and how it works. Hello, sir.
Hey, hi.
Yeah, can take.
Yeah. So, hello everybody. Is this an in-person class? Is it? Are people sitting in front of you?
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Because
there are
I
some
only
people.
allow four attendees here.
Yeah. I- So this is a recorded session that's going on this
Okay.
this
Okay. Okay. No. So my name is Anirudh. I'm the CTO for Coyolia. Technology is more than 35 years of experience. Um, And I just wanted to sort of come in and talk about a little bit of on the importance of data and analytics, importance of cloud, why it is important, and why this whole combination of cloud and data classes that we have held, how they help, and why you should focus on these skills from a market perspective. So let me just share my presentation here. Let me know if you can see it.
yes, this is it.
Yeah. So, so if you know, and I think, I think Khaja already must have covered some of these things. Like he must have asked you these questions in the beginning of the session itself as to what is the, why is it important and what is the what modern companies are doing today. And so, if you look at Amazon, Netflix, Swiggy, or any of your favorite applications, gaming applications. What do they have in common? You know? And most people think, okay, they are just online companies, they are just some sort of businesses. But really, what they have in common is that all of them run on the cloud. And the reason why they run on the cloud is also because of data. The whole concept of cloud and the reason why people started moving to the cloud is when they started collecting a lot of data and they wanted a lot of compute, because as data starts growing and you want to analyze the data, computing power starts becoming the bottleneck. um, if you have a server in your office or in your company, that server will not suffice after the data grows beyond a point. So then you have to buy one more server, which is expensive. It is not just expensive, but also time taking to procure a server. So you have to put in an order, order the server, connect it. Your cooling cost, your power cost, everything is going up. So it becomes more difficult as the data grows to keep analyzing all that data. So when the cloud came in, when the cloud technology came in, that became a huge sort of a benefit, because now you no longer have to buy hardware. You rent the hardware. Basically, it's in the hardware is somewhere in a data center somewhere, and you just put your data on those machines, and you use whatever compute you need. You need more compute, you can increase or decrease, and you only pay for what you've used. So it became very, very efficient for processing data. Just as an analogy, and I'm sure all of you have, to make the discussion a little more interesting, I'm sure all of you are familiar with Iron Man. So if you look at Iron Man, as a character, he has an iron suit, and he can fly around everywhere. But in order to be effective, in order to be aware of what's going on around him, he needs a tool. And I'm sure all of you who watched Iron Man must also know that his main person or a main character that or digital character that he interacts with is Jarvis, and that's the power. So the Jarvis tool or the Jarvis assistant is what is keeping him informed about what's going on, what's the surroundings like, and he keeps asking questions, and Jarvis keeps replying. So that's the power of data. So if Iron Man is the cloud, Jarvis is your data analytics part, which is sort of powering Iron Man for all everything that he does. Um, Again, why cloud skills are important? Because the moment you understand cloud, it becomes how the digital world works. So it is very important to know how cloud works, how compute works, how networking works, what are the various options available for storage, which are the fastest storage, which is the faster compute, what tools are available for building applications, for analyzing data, storing data, querying data. If you know all those basic tools that are available to you in the cloud, and these tools are different for different clouds. So Amazon has its own tools, Azure has its own tools, Google has its own tools. So having knowledge about these tools, just like Khaja probably gave you a demo of Looker right now, and that's one of the tools available. Power BI is another tool available from Azure, and so there are other tools, tools to store, tools to query. But if you know how these things work, then you know how the whole digital world is working. And then you are better equipped to build those solutions. So again, taking a comparison to Tony Stark's it is the arc reactor. So without that arc reactor, Tony Stark is just an iron suit. Uh, the iron armor will just protect him, but he can't do much with it. To do something meaningful, he needs the arc reactor. So the arc reactor is like the cloud power that he has that allows him to move around and be more powerful and take down bad people. So why are cloud skills considered a superpower? Well, first of all, a little bit of a reality check. Cloud skills are no longer good to have, and so if I go, let's say I go, 20, 30 years ago when I was studying, for example, um, in the interview, they would ask you a question. If you go for an interview 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when you went to an interview, they'll ask you a question. Do you know computers? Do you know how to use a computer? Today, you go to an interview, nobody will ask you, do you know how to use a computer? It's a given. If you don't know how to use a computer, then nobody will not be employable because it's a basic requirement. Even if you're not a technical person, even if you are in management, even if you are in some HR or whatever, you have to know how to use a computer, how to use Excel sheets, how to use Word, how to do basic calculations and things like that, right? So it's a basic requirement. So similarly now, 30 years later, um, the same thing is happening with the cloud, and so it is a must-have. People will ask you that question, that do you know cloud? Because it is very important, and if you know it, then it's a huge advantage. Also, cloud is the language. So if you know it, you will be ahead. If you don't know it, then okay, you'll not be considered as one of the few people who can get a job done. So that's why it is very important to stay ahead. It is important to skill yourself from a cloud knowledge perspective. It is also the industry reality. Uh, Several years ago, I don't remember now how long it has been since Satya has been the head of Microsoft. I used to work for Microsoft before I left. I left a year ago. So I worked for Microsoft for almost 18 years. So I saw the transition when Satya took over the organization. And in one of his keynotes in one of the conferences, very early when he had just taken over Microsoft as a CEO, he made a statement saying that every company is a software company. And it is a very profound statement made in those days, because if you look at it, every business, whatever, whether you are doing today, every business, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's construction, whether it's or some trading, this online e-commerce, you could be any kind of a company, but end of the day you are running on software. Your first of all, your foundation is on ERP systems and CRM systems and all that you need. If you don't have those systems in place, you will lose to the competition. The competition to stay ahead of the competition, you will have to implement automation. You will have to automate your processes. You will have to do predictive analytics to predict the market, to predict what's going to happen to the market, to predict supply chain, to predict whether materials are going to be available or not. All those things, if you are able to do through software, you will always be ahead of the game. And that is why most of the companies today, there is a very interesting study that was done recently, that manufacturing companies, like even car companies, car manufacturing companies, are having bigger IT teams than the manufacturing teams. So the manufacturing labor is reducing day by day because of all, again, the automation that's coming in, and the IT teams are increasing in size because of the amount of automation that is being put in software and to automate the company. So it's very important. Every company today needs software, and every company today needs to move to the cloud. If they haven't, they will. So if they're not already on the cloud. It's also a career multiplier. So, cloud skills will boost your employability. If you're, let's say, if you're good in some maybe commerce, or you're good in management, or you're good in general programming, you're a good programmer. But if you don't know cloud, if you know cloud, you will have definitely a plus point. So you can write programs on your PC, you can write, but the moment you can move your code to the cloud and make it work in the cloud, suddenly your employability will increase, and people will not have to spend much time training you for the cloud. So it's a big career booster. Now, why data analytics is no longer nice to have and must have is, again, because gone are the days when decisions were made based on some feeling. When you didn't know what, your data was hidden somewhere in some written in some books, handwritten in some books, and you had no idea why sales are dropping or why sales are increasing for a particular month, and you would make some guesses. Oh, it must be Diwali, or it must be this, it must be that, whatever it is. They were all guesses. But now with data being at your accessible to you, and the compute that is available to you to make those models in terms of predictions, so you can take your last 10 years of sales and build models to say, hey, what will happen next month? Because there is a pattern. Every November, every December, your sales have shown some sort of a pattern for the last 10 years. And the model will tell you that, hey, this is what is going to happen. Then if you add other factors to it, surrounding factors, market conditions, and things like that, it is able to give you even better and even more accurate data and accurate prediction. So that is why it's very important. It's no longer, people are, they are now born in the cloud companies. There are companies that start with analytics, start by building models for this rather than starting to build a product first. So it has become a must. So, without that, it'll be a clunky suit. So without any cloud, without any data, Iron Man is just metal suit and nothing else. You have to have all that power to make Iron Man what he is. Again, some more data on some more information on why it's no longer just a nice to have. Data is the decisions now. Data becomes the decisions. Data tells you, how and what works. What will you do? What kind of, whether you should put up a sale or no sale, whether you should manufacture more cars or less cars or whatever it is. It's all based on data. Everywhere you look, it is being used. So whether it's tech industry, finance, healthcare, retail, sports, for example, sports is huge. You can imagine the amount of analytics that goes into sports, especially with IPL and the FIFA and all that, with so much money riding on the sports. It has become a huge industry that for tech. So it's everywhere. You know. Again, as I said, it's a career booster. So analytical skills and along with cloud skills will help you take any job, whether it's sales, marketing, or tech jobs. Having analytical abilities to analyze data, you definitely have a plus. Again, in my experience, I have always seen this. I've worked with many. I mean, I'm an architect, but I've always worked with salespeople a lot in terms of, the salespeople used to come to me to say, hey, take me to different customers, tell me to solve some technical problems. And all the salespeople I have interacted with, I have found that the ones that are really good, the good salespeople, are the ones who can work with numbers. They are very good with Excel sheets. They are very good with putting data in Excel sheet and doing some pivots on it and figuring out. And they are always ahead of knowing which of their customers need more attention, where are they lacking, which customers they should approach for getting more opportunities and things like that. So I've always seen that the salespeople who are good with analytics, in simple analytics, it's in Excel sheets, as I said, are very good salespeople, and so that's why, again, something to think about. And AI, of course. So as AI is growing, AI cannot work without data. So if you want to AI to work, and if you want AI to give you more reliable results, it's going to depend on data. So you have to really understand data, and you have to really understand how data works. You should be able to clean data. You should understand bad data from good data. So all those skills are also developed once you start doing data analytics, because you get into the habit of observing data and data quality. How cloud has completely transformed the world of analytics. 15 years ago, analytics, as I said, as I gave you the example, if I have data and I have one machine, now if my data grows, I have to buy another machine. Now the speed at which I can actually process that data depends on how fast I can get that new machine. Which, as I said, I have to first put in an order for the machine. I have to release the request to some company. Then that company will figure out whether they have it in stock. Then they will assemble it, they will package it, send it. It comes into my data center, gets into the rack, gets all the cabling. A whole month will pass before I can actually use that new machine, right? So the speed of analytics is moving at the speed of hardware. Now, if you're in the cloud, you don't have to do all that. You literally have to just move one dial, change a 2 CPU machine to 4 CPU machine, 4 CPU to 8 CPU machine, and it will just basically go and upgrade your hardware. So the scalability is very is very easy now, and that's why cloud analytics has become very important. So it's like going from that clunky Iron this to a full-fledged, very streamlined Iron Man with Jarvis inside. So imagine the difference between these two people. One can barely walk, and maybe somebody can come and hit them and they won't be affected, but the other guy can fly and move around and think very fast, because Jarvis will tell you everything about what's going on. So that's the difference of no cloud analytics and someone with cloud analytics. Now, how cloud has completely transformed the world of analytics. So it's analytics on steroids. As I said, it's faster. If you go onto the cloud, it's faster. It's cheaper. Also, a lot of time. Imagine doing AI and you need a GPU. If you need a GPU is extremely expensive. It's not affordable for you to buy a GPU yourself. But if it is in the cloud and I want to use GPU for, let's say, an hour, I can just get one, use it, and then give it up. And that will be a fraction of the cost if I try to actually procure the GPU myself, right? So it is much cheaper. It is scalable. You can scale it up, down, so it becomes very easy. So that's why it's basically like analytics on steroids. Unlimited possibilities because there is no limit to storage and compute. I can go to whatever limits I want. There are companies who ask even beyond once they reach their limit, they put in a request for more compute, and Microsoft will provide them with that extra compute if they reach the limits of this. So there are many possibilities. It's easier to scale, and you can't don't have to limit yourself to saying, oh, I have only 4 machines and I can do so much, right? It's also powering AI. So all the AI and ML. So the whole reason. So I'm sure all of you know this and must have heard this story many times that the word AI was coined in the 1950s. Uh, you know, in the US, there was a conference in the Dartmouth College where the term artificial intelligence was actually coined. And since then, artificial intelligence has been used everywhere. I mean, so much of AI has been used, but it never got into the limelight because it was very expensive to build those machines and use those machines. So it kept failing. Every time they tried to do something with it, they could only get to like playing chess, for example. They built a machine that could play chess, and if you remember the Cool Blue from IBM, which who defeated the machine that defeated Gary Kasparov in chess, for example. But the cost of that machine was a few $1 million. So it was very prohibitive to build those machines on yourself. So as soon as the cloud came in, everyone just sort of got liberated. Everybody who wanted to use AI and ML had all the power in their hands to do, go and get whatever they want from the cloud. And that's why you see that only in the past 20 years, even though AI and ML has been around for many decades, the real, uplift has only been in the last, 5, 6 years, 10 years or so, since the inception of cloud. It also allows you to do end-to-end automation. Entire life cycles can be automated because of cloud. So your CRM, your ERP, connecting CRMs to different other systems, everything becomes very easy, very pluggable because the tools are all there. Tools are ready to use. There is PaaS, there is SaaS. You don't have to build half the things. You don't even have to build these days because they are ready-made available in the cloud. So it becomes very easy to automate your entire end-to-end business. Now, so that's about the cloud and the analytics part. Khaja, do you know if we can ask questions, or is there some way for anybody to ask us questions?
We don't have
You're
we
on.
have not given access.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can
just wanted
please.
to check. That's wanted to check. Okay, so that was about the cloud and analytics in general and the power of cloud analytics. I wanted to spend some time on careers. What kind of careers are there? And as I said, because of cloud and analytics and the number of roles available, it's not even like a path. It's like a highway. It's many lanes that you will have to choose from. Whether you are coder, non-coder, whether you are good in maths, whether you're good in business, whatever is your choice. If you know cloud and analytics, you have many careers to choose, and that's why it is important again to skill yourself in these two things. So these are some cloud careers. So in cloud you have cloud engineers, cloud architects. These are just example, by the way. There are many more roles that you can look at, but these are some important ones that are often looked at. Is basically cloud engineer, cloud architects, DevOps engineers, cloud security engineers, reliability engineers. So these are the basic roles that you can focus into, if you are into infrastructure, you can get more into reliability engineers and security engineers. If you are more into automation of code release and things like that, you become a DevOps engineer and things like that. In data analytics, you have data analysts, you have business analysts, data scientists, ML engineers, data engineers. So these are all the different main roles available for you to explore. Again, you can choose, you can switch between them. You can be a data analyst and later on realize, oh, I'm very good at math, so maybe I can do a little course on data science and become a data scientist. ML engineers are to do more to do with deployment. So if you get into, if you're a data scientist or if you're in business or a data analyst, you do a course in cloud computing and all the infrastructure related this, you can become an ML engineer. So an ML engineer doesn't really need to know very deep on data science and very deep into machine learning, but they know how to set up a machine learning environment. What all storage and compute and what are different frameworks that are needed to deploy. They know how to run those pipelines. They know how to test those pipelines and things like that. So it's very, very, very interesting role and very, very, people who are in hot demand right now. AI in general, AI careers, again, you have prompt engineers, trainers, curators, product specialists. So different roles again. These are new roles that are coming in. Prompt engineering, again, I recommend everyone to do it. It's a very short course, by the way. There are a few courses available online and in YouTube. There are a couple of courses available. And there are some courses available from Google. For example, Google has a good prompt engineering course, a short course. It's not a very large, big course. So prompt engineering is important because of what I also see. I work with a lot of development teams and who are using ChatGPT and who are using AI-based tools for doing development. I'm myself using those tools to do development. And I realize that a lot of people just are using ChatGPT like Google. They're just putting in whatever they used to search in Google. They're putting it in ChatGPT. And that's not a very efficient way of using ChatGPT. And if you can really, so the more information you give ChatGPT about what you're trying to do, what is the background of what you're trying to do, if you explain it properly, you explain the output that you're expecting from ChatGPT. You also tell ChatGPT to focus on a certain thing, right? You can, for example, you can actually tell ChatGPT to say, imagine you're a Python developer. Now, if you put that statement up on the top and then ask your query, it immediately focuses ChatGPT only on Python related information, right? It is not going to go anywhere else. So the output is very accurate. So how to structure your prompt? What are the various parts of your prompt and why each part is important? And how do you write the prompt is very important. And I think everyone should do a course on it. Don't use ChatGPT blindly like it's some search tool, because it is not a search tool. It's a generative tool. It's very different from how Google search works. So you have to treat it also differently. Then there are some business plus tech careers. These are, less tech, more business kind of careers. So they are more into sales, marketing, cloud sales, analytics, and market analysis and things like that. Again, very important jobs, very, very good jobs. But again, if you have cloud analytics knowledge, you will definitely have an edge. Because if you go for cloud sales, but you already know about cloud, even though you don't have to be very deeply knowledgeable about cloud, but if you know enough, you'll be able to be a better sales for those services. AI tools mastering is super important. All of you should be using some form of tools and very focused tools. You should be like, if you're doing code development. So one of the things I realize is people who are doing development are still using ChatGPT as a tool for building their product, which is, I would say, 50% efficient as opposed to a tool that's focused on code. So if you use Google Cursor or if you use Windsurf or any of these tools, which are much more focused only on coding, you will get a much better result than using generic ChatGPT. Now, but in order to do that, you have to learn how to use those tools. So I also recommend that to invest some money into these tools. Just like it's like buying books, basically. Yeah, we all invest in buying books to learn. But so a good, just a $15, $20 per month expense for these tools is as good as buying a book. It gives you, access to all these tools. Um, a subscription model, a subscription for one of these tools is poles apart from free, by the way. The free is extremely restricting. The moment you even get a basic subscription, suddenly you amount of power you get and amount of use this features that you get are very high. So I highly recommend to invest in AI tools. Um, yeah, so the productivity goes up. You 2 times, 4 times, 5 times more productive if you use AI tools. You work smarter, not harder. The job, if you try to write a code or piece of maybe an architecture or document, a design document that takes you probably a whole day, if you write it yourself, can be finished in an hour. Doesn't mean that you blindly accept whatever AI is generating. You still have to put in your effort in terms of reading what AI has generated, curating it, and I do that all the time. So I don't just blindly cut and paste the content. I look at it, I see, I modify it, I do more research on it to figure out what it means, and things like that. There are some very interesting tools from ChatGPT which are very collaborative, very sort of interactive. You can now actually turn the ChatGPT into a mode where you can write a document. And so once it writes a document, you can select one paragraph and give one more prompt, and it will expand that paragraph with more details. So it becomes very easy and nice to sort of edit and create documents. Same for code. It's a modern tool, so use the modern toolkit. As I said, don't just use ChatGPT. Use Cursor, Bedrock. You use LangChain, and LangChain is again very important. It's not a AI tool as such, but it's a way to sort of put AI into workflow. LangChain N8N, which I have not mentioned here, again a very popular tool that's growing. I think every person who wants to do something in AI should learn LangChain and N8N because it's catching up very quickly, and it helps you build AI workflows. So you can have AI agents, multiple AI agents talking to each other and collaborating and things like that. So it becomes very powerful. And yeah, I mean, so AI, don't think of AI as something that will replace jobs or is replacing your job. You should look at it like a tool. So don't look at only AI. You look at AI plus you. If the combination of the two is what is lethal, and you'll never be unemployed if you know these two things very well. If you walk into an interview knowing AI tools and be able to prove to them that you have used a lot of AI tools, it's almost a guaranteed job. So just make sure that you are skilled from that perspective. So that's all I had. That's just something I wanted to share with all of you. Just the idea is that since you are engaged in learning cloud and learning analytics, I wanted to just bring the importance of these two things and also make you aware of all the opportunities that are available to you. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening to me. And if you have any doubts, you can of course ask and maybe send an email to Avinash or to Khaja. I can individually answer those questions. Thank you so much. Over to you, Khaja.
Thank you, Anirudh, for the session. It was very great and incentive. Yeah. And this is our last session on our online classes. And we have already gone through our first class was on basic of data analytics, and our second class was on Excel sheets and Google Sheets. And our third class was on Python, how to use Python in data analytics and how we can improve data analytics using Python with just 3-4 lines of code. We were doing automation in our codes. And then we have gone through SQL, where we have done basic data analysis using SQL, writing small queries, which were showing us big results in data sets. And today we have gone through Luca Studio. That was a 5 class series, like a small step toward data analytics. If you want to grow more and learn more, you can directly contact me. I will share my email address with you all. You can mail me there if you have any queries, if you want to learn more, if you want to deep dive. Please do let me know. I'm happy to answer your all the questions and your queries. And that's it from my side. Yeah, thank you everyone.